Ladies and gentlemen, we started our hike off in the dark. Sun's not quite up over the Pine Nut Mountains, but you can see, because we're going to turn the corner, that is Carson City. That is Washoe Lake, with Washoe City behind the lake. We're obviously very high up. We heard an owl. We came across about 4 bucks, and one of them got a little pissed with us. You have to be careful. Every year people get near an angry deer, a buck, and that buck ends up charging. And basically they stand on 2 legs, they beat you down with the hooves, you fall to the ground, and they take their horns and they stab you in the organs. And you die. You bleed to death because you get your liver, your kidneys, your stomach stabbed, and you go through shock and you die. Now, we're up. I didn't realize this area is this woodsy. Unfortunately, it closed this road early. So now, instead of us having to drive a couple miles and park, we have to hike 6 miles to the Red House and 6 miles back. So today's hike is 12 miles. And I'm okay with climbing a few thousand feet, but when we get to the reservoir, we'll have to walk around in the woods to get the Bigfoot evidence we need. We'll also be doing a ghost hunt at a historic cabin and sawmill. So we'll have 2 ghost hunts in between a major Bigfoot investigation. This is Lord Rick. The year is thinning. For starters, this is the Hobart Reservoir that we are going to, the Red House, and the place called Ghost of the Sawmill, which should be really spooky. And not spooky, but there's a lot of history. But you can see, look, that, my friends, that's Carson City. It's a beautiful city. It really is. And there's a lot of hikes you can, along the edge of Carson City, on both mountain ranges, where you can hike up into the woods. And so, it's a really great area. It's not a very big city. Thousands of trees, almost to a point of Carson City so woodsy because of the trees. And they'll all be changing colors, and I'll be getting pictures from above today. But yeah, this is it, man. This is the real deal. I also want to mention one other little tidbit. You know, see, it's so important when I record and make films that I show you guys these locations in depth, but I give you history too, and views and all these other things, so you can see that we're working hard at what we do, that we're not just standing in one place or, you know, driving somewhere and parking out front and saying, hey, we investigated this. No, we work hard, not for fame or money. People go around all the time and they call my son and I frauds, and they say our work is fake, because nobody likes to be outdone by a 13-year-old, or at the time he was 9 when he started hitting the Sierras. But my son does great work, and I think people should, when he gets evidence and points out things and is scientific and motivated to do it, nobody should hate on him or me. They should be congratulating us for making a full effort to come out here and do something. Right now, we're in a high desert. It's a very lush valley. There's a river that flows through it, a lot of trees. It's not a sandy desert. These are ranches, green meadows. This valley, this is Eagle Valley. It is lush, but this is your entrance into the high Sierras, and this is nothing. You know, we're talking, you know, you're looking at least 2,500 feet just to get to the Tahoe Rim, and then you go down to the reservoir. So 2,500, you start off at 5,000 feet and you go to 2,500 feet to the top of the mountain. So, you know, we're getting up to 9,000 feet today, and that's still pretty high. It's not the highest in the world, but a lot of work goes into a climb like that, and conditioning, and taking magnesium tablets so I don't get cramps. That is Washoe Lake. When it was very woodsy before they lumbered in the area, the Sasquatch would come down from the Sierras and they would be sighted around the lake because there's a lot of deer and there's water source. And then when Washoe City came to be and the Comstock and the train came through, the sighting stopped. So definitely intriguing information. But anyways, again, I'm out of here. We're gonna hike. I just want to get some video before the sun had gotten too bright so you can kind of see Carson City all lit up before the sun comes up. It's a very bright city at night, but even still in the middle of the city, a lot of times if you look up you can see all the stars. So we're actually the same height as the mountain across from us, so I know we've already made a few hundred feet in height or elevation gain, which is great. Because a couple, you know, maybe 17 or 2,100 feet will be over into the Tahoe Basin. And then we'll have views of Lake Tahoe. So you got Carson and Washoe Lake on one side, and then way up a couple thousand feet on the other side is Lake Tahoe and the Hobart Reservoir and Martlet Lake. And we've worked with this region all along the Carson Range. We're taking it quadrant by quadrant. Every place I've been up in these mountains along the edge of these cities have had Bigfoot evidence, UFO evidence. I've seen it. I can't deny what I see or film. The paranormal is very alive in this region, and it's important we hike up here to do it. Because if we don't put ourselves there, we're not going to see the things that we want to see or be able to bring our viewers the truth. And the truth lies a few miles in these mountains when it gets real remote. This is Lord Rick. Peace.